Hey guys, welcome to MGTOW is Freedom. Thank you very much for coming here. And thank you much for keep coming back. MGTOW, men going their own way. Right? That way is away from gynocentrism, away from feminism, away from women leading men around by their noses, away from social norms that denigrate, destroy, and minimize the masculine man. Right? We're men. We make it happen. I have the penis, right? You have the penis. Fuck everyone else. There's no reason we should listen to them when it comes to anything, because look at the condition this country's in. These idiot liberals and feminists, they have done nothing but push on men. Push us back, push us down, tell us we're doing it wrong and that we always have, and that they're going to make a world a better place. Well, look at the shithole they've caused, right? But there's some interesting points here that we're going to start seeing. You know, we're going to start seeing feminism, gynocentrism, right, fall on its face. And I liken it basically to the world as a jungle. The world is a wild place. It's a swamp, right? And there are paths through life, like there are paths through the swamp. They're well-worn paths, right? They're wide, and you can see where they go. You should follow the path, right? That path is the quickest, safest way to lead you from point A to point B, is it not? Right? So what's the deal with women? What's the deal with feminism? Right? Well, let's see. Women, they start out their life, their adult life, at age 18. They graduate school, and that's as good as they're ever going to look. Their bodies is as perfect as it's ever going to look. And they can work on it all they want. They can get better at makeup. Sure, they can do all those things. But underneath all of that clown makeup, right? And despite all of that exercise and ritual, they are becoming less and less valuable. They're a depreciating asset that is being managed by a mental midget. Right? So what do we see? I see people running through the jungle any which way they want, running through the swamp. Society and our culture has left that path I'm talking about, that leads from starting to ending, from a good place to the best place, right? From the beginning of life to retirement. It goes right there as fast as possible. If you follow that, you're in good shape. But what has happened? Right, there are signs all over that path. And people are turning off wherever they want, and they're believing these new signs. This sign says, women should have equal rights, and the next sign points another direction, and it says, divorce is a great idea. And you've got women running all over the swamp. They don't know what the fuck they're doing, right? They attach themselves to a man, and he says, "Okay, babe, stay with me. I see the path," right? It's the well-worn, well-traveled, proven, established, reliable path, and it's heading, right, to a good place, a good retirement, quality of life, personal satisfaction and pleasure. Let's go there, babe, right? And so she's on his back like Yoda, and she like turns him, go down this other path. And he's like, no, the path is this way, and she's like grabbing his ears. No, go my way, I know, right? And so she leads him down this path, right, at the path of destruction. Right? Runs him into a tree, knocks him the fuck out. Who knows, what the analogy is for this? Who knows? The analogy of the path or the way to go. But the world is a jungle. It's a dangerous fucking place. It's a swamp. And what happens? Women turn off the known path. They're like, this is the path men have traveled for hundreds of years, thousands of years. This is the path of oppression. We, women, are going to make our own path. And off they go. And the first fucking thing they do is destroy everyone around them. And they run themselves right into quicksand. And they start sinking in quicksand. Right? They realize that they're not on the path that's known, and they're making their own path. And they're standing there, and they scream and yell, "Someone save me!" while they're in the quicksand, right? And some guy will walk along, a white knight, and he says, "Here, let me help you up," right? And he grabs the woman who's making all kinds of mistakes, the quicksand being symbolic of her mistakes, pulls her out of that and says, "Stay with me," right? "Follow me, I'll take care of you." And he starts to head back to the path, and she steers him wrong again, right? Crashes him. And then she's right back in the quicksand, sinking, going in debt, making stupid decisions. She's immoral, she's irresponsible. Right back in the quicksand, right? But this isn't just the quicksand of death, right? It's the quicksand of the wall. Every day, every hour, every second, women get older and they're worth less. Less and less. But they become more creative as they're standing there in that quicksand, unable to get out of it. Right? Getting into more and more debt, depreciating, boop, 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 as she sinks down, depreciating in value. Her value depreciates, and she screams and yells, and men come to her rescue. She says, "I'm beautiful, trust me, take me, save me." He pulls her out of the quicksand, "Follow me," right? He heads back to the known path, and she leads him right back. Oh no, this is the path over here, right back into the quicksand. Destroying men. You know, even if a man is able to get away, right, she strips him of his money. Right? She strips him of his pride, his self-respect, in the process of diving back in the quicksand. There's a point, though, where those women are left in the quicksand. There's a point where men are going to be MGTOW, and they're going to hear the cries of the woman and go, "I'm not saving you because you can't be saved." Not only can't you be saved, you won't understand, you won't learn, you won't take direction, you won't take advice. You won't fucking do as you're told, you won't submit. You won't give me what I want, and all you want to do is take my stuff, strip it from me, and try and kill me at the same time, while you sink back into the quicksand of valuelessness, lack of value. And there comes this point. The baby boomer generation has seen a great deal of divorce in it, a great deal of masculine destruction, and they did their job as a bunch of feminist, gynocentric bitches. But it's their daughters. That's women that are in my age group. They're in their early 50s down to 30 years old or so. That group of women is losing value on a daily basis. They are becoming older, uglier, and stupider, and they're sinking in quicksand. They're sinking in quicksand. They thought they were porn stars 20 years ago. 10 years ago they said, "Look, I'm a MILF, right? You need me, look how hot I am." And now it's, you're a washed up hag. Men, more and more and more, are going to leave these ignorant bitches in the quicksand, sinking, because they left that path, that well-known, well-trodden, wide, well-established, easily visible path. And the women, I guess, don't like it because it's the path of patriarchy. Right? It's the path that leads to fulfillment. Right? It makes working worth doing because it's not a path of destruction. So there are women running left, running right through the jungle, thinking they're doing it right, saying, "I'm going to make my own path. You can't tell me." And time after time, right into quicksand everywhere they go. Everywhere they go. They think they're going to be, socially brilliant, right? They're going to be accepted and loved. They think they're doing all of these things for their own betterment, but they're leaving a well-known path. If the path that these women think is so good, why haven't anyone discovered it 100 years ago, 500 years ago, 2,000 years ago? Well, I'll tell you what, 2,000 years ago in the Roman administration, the Roman Empire, women started getting rights and power, and they started taking separate paths. And they contributed to the downfall of the Roman civilization. They contributed to it. When an entity a social system, leaves the path that led them to greatness, and they go off and try something new, it oftentimes leads to destruction. Women have left men and left the path, and they demand we follow them. We aren't going to do that anymore. Not as MGTOW, that's for sure. We're not going to fall for the trick of the woman who's in the mire, right, in the muck, in the quicksand, who screams, "Please help me! I was victimized by someone else. Please come save me!" Right, and maybe the MGTOW man 10 years ago would have said, "Oh, you poor thing, what happened to you?" "Oh, well, I'm not like all the other women. I just had a bad thing happen, or my man treated me badly." Today we don't fall for that. Today we say, look, right, if you're so good, no man in his right mind would leave you here or would have sent you here and destroyed you. Today we know better, right? Everything they have to say is a lie. When you look at their history, look at women who are stuck in the quicksand. Look at them. Just fucking look at them. There's a path of destruction behind them. They left the path. They did their own thing. Destruction. I went out last night to a brew pub to get some food, some drink. And on the way out, there was a string of women coming in, just yakking and jacking their fucking jaws. Yak, 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 yak. And I thought, what the fuck is this about? So I grabbed a waiter, and he says, "Oh, yeah, they were in here earlier. They were all going to see that new 50 Shades movie," which cracks me up because none of these women know the first fucking thing about being submissive. Because you could just hear them just fucking sounding like a bunch of miniature chainsaws just going off. So they go back in. He goes, "Yeah, they come back after their adult movie nights." So I run into this waiter today who says, "John," it was pretty, because it was really funny. You could hear him at the table talking about how they left their children at the babysitters, how it's a ladies' night out, and how they're not going to go home, right? And I said, "Well, you mean they left them with their husband?" He goes, "No, they're talking about babysitters." I said, that was a table full of single mothers who have ditched their children to go watch a movie about being a submissive woman in some sexual capacity. And I guess they vicariously submit through the movie and then go back to being little bitches. Because I tell you, they went by me. 2 of them gave me a shitty look. I just stared down at them and laughed. Right? None of them impressed me. But what they're doing is they have gone down their own path. They're running wild through the forest, trying this and trying that. And they're damaged goods. They have established that they're ruined. These were 25 to 35-year-old women. Single moms. All painted up like whores, but looking like shit. Fucking limping, stomping, waddling. Nothing attractive about them. They totally blew it. Back when they were 17 or 18 and they were skinny and cute, they had a chance to join a man and go down that path. That nice, smooth, well-established path that brings happiness, joy, security, and comfort. No, they don't want that. They don't want that. They're ruined. Destruction. And now they're in the swamp and we're like, we're not pulling you out of that. I'm not going to be the one to take a woman and pull her up. Bring her up to my level. Get her out of trouble and danger. Dust her off and say, "Come with me. This is how we do it." I'm not doing that. Fuck that. Because all they're going to do is grab onto you and pull you back into the swamp with them. This is the way to go. I know. My way or the highway. All their bullshit. You know, I watched this other woman, this bartender that works at this place. And she has a new boyfriend every week. And I was talking to one of the waitresses that worked there. And I said, "What's the deal with that? You know, tell me about it." Because I wanted some truth. I wanted to hear the facts. And it was, well, in order for her to be satisfied, she has to be in charge. She has to make all of her own decisions because that makes her happy. I said, "Well, from what I see, there's nothing happy about her. She's a single mom. She's got 3 kids." She goes, "Oh, but she owns her own house." I said, "Oh, she owns her own house. Okay, well, you know, so what? Men own houses all the time." I go, what's she doing? Well, she gets a new boyfriend every week. That way the guy can't hurt her. I go, what's she need a guy for? Well, she wants to be happy. So she's not happy single. Right, yeah, she's not happy single. But she doesn't want a full-time boyfriend because that won't make her happy. I said, well, but being alone is what you were saying is what made her unhappy. But being with a guy doesn't make her happy. So what the fuck makes her happy again? Right, well, getting what she wants. I said, well, getting what she wants. What does she want? Well, she wants to be happy. And it's this huge circular discussion about happy. And I said, so what happens is she gets a guy and she pisses him off, uses him, and then goes and leaves him and gets another guy. And I said, that's a cock carousel. I said, the more she gets used by other men, the less she's going to be attractive to other men. And she does this year after year, she's going to get older and uglier. And the more men that she uses and finds dissatisfactory, the less satisfied she'll ever be in a man, and she's never going to find happiness, ever. Ever. She uses men for free drinks, and then she uses them for sex. But that's not making her happy. That's giving her bits of satisfaction. But the first thing she does is grab a guy and jump in the swamp, into the quicksand. This is a real life, woman, and it's not uncommon. This is just one that I can happen to watch if I want. She is happiest in the shit, right? Or if she wasn't the happiest in the shit, right, in the quicksand, why does she keep jumping back into it? Right? She's tired of working. She doesn't have any security. She doesn't like being a single mom. But she won't do as she's told. She treats men like shit. She uses them, she laughs at them and spits in their face, and then wonders why they leave her. Or why they won't come back to her. She's an absolutely filthy whore that looks really good with a painted face. But she likes to run all through the jungle, all through the swamp, wherever she wants, trying this and trying that. And I've heard her talk several times, and she makes absolutely no sense. She contradicts herself, right? Well, I'm happy doing what I'm doing. I go, but you said you want to be with a guy. Well, I'm happy being alone. I thought you said you would be happiest with someone. Well, I don't like men because they use me. I go, but it sounds like you're using men. You get what you want out of them, and you get rid of them as soon as you think that they're going to demand something from you that you don't want to give. Right? Maybe that's commitment. She likes the cock carousel. But that makes her less and less attractive the older she gets. And I've known this woman, or about her, for 5 years, and I've watched. The quality of men that are interested in her is dropping. Dropping, dropping. And what she's starting to do is accept older men. Older men, I'm talking 50s. Right? And that's what she wants. She's going to start going after older men who are thinking her as young. Because she is getting older and uglier. And less attractive in many, many ways. She is a depreciating asset. She is failing herself, and she continues to run through the jungle like an idiot, falling in the quicksand and screaming, "Some guy, please come help me." And at some point, this is what I talked about at the very beginning, the swamp is going to be full of women, neck deep in quicksand, screaming, "Help me." And men will be absolutely deaf to it. More men are going to go MGTOW, guys. This is my opinion. We're going to go MGTOW, and like everything else that we don't want to hear, we just don't hear it. And I know fucking bitches love to go, "You've got selective hearing, don't you?" And I go, what? Someone say something? Right? I don't fucking hear them. I don't want to hear them. Yeah, it's selective hearing. I don't hear bitches. I just don't. I don't hear them. Literally. In real life, I cannot hear bitches. Unless they're right in front of me and I see them. It's like, wow, fuck, what are you doing in my way? Stand aside, whore. But these women are proving themselves to be less and less valuable. They've proven that they like it in quicksand. Up to here, dying, close to drowning to death in their own stupidity and their own bad decisions. And as they get uglier and older, right? They don't even at this point in the game, they won't allow men to pull them out of the quicksand. They tell men, get in the quicksand with me. This is how we do it. And men are starting to go, are you fucking crazy? You drown in quicksand, you dumb bitch. I'm not going down the path you're on. I'm going to get back on that path. That well-worn, well-traveled, well-established path that leads to happiness, fulfillment, satisfaction. And that path right now is being trod by MGTOW. Because everyone else, you see men going across the path, on, off, all over the place, and never heading down the straight and true. Because they've got women leading them by the noses, and women hollering for them, save me, save me. But there's a point where men are going to go, you've been in that your whole life. You won't get out of it. You won't fucking listen. You won't shut up. You won't follow me. You keep leading men down these paths of destruction. And we're just going to leave them alone. Just leave them. That's what's happening. Women are being left behind. Generation X is getting older and uglier as feminine. They were cute 20 years ago. Not anymore. They've tried being cougars. They've tried being MILFs. They've tried being sexy moms. And men are losing interest in them. There is a whole generation of women. And if 20% of marriages are successful, meaning the woman is still married to the man, doesn't mean that it's a successful or happy marriage. That means 80% of women are running all over the swamp. Like fucking retarded lemmings, diving into quicksand, looking for a pot of gold in there somewhere. And men are not going to touch them. Those women are going to get older and uglier. Older and uglier. Worth less and worth less and worth less. And they're going to die on their own. Lonely, unfulfilled, broke. Literally, financially broke. Because that's what they are. They are morally broke. Intellectually bankrupt. Unintelligible in every way. I liken them to parrots. I can put a parrot in a cage and say, pretty boy. Say, I want a cracker. Say, depreciating asset. And the parrot can say those words to me. But the parrot does not know what the fuck it means. It doesn't know what it means. Women are the same way. They learn words. They mimic movements. But they don't fucking think right. They're broken. They are no better to me than a parrot. Except a parrot fucking listens and sits on the perch and does what a parrot is supposed to do. Not women. They learn a few words. Depreciating asset. I won't be one. And they jump in the swamp up to their neck in quicksand. And then they say, I'm going to sit here and do it my way. And then they're not happy. But eventually, they lose. They lose the beauty game, the age game. They become sour, diseased-minded old bitches, harpies, screeching at any man that dares look at them, and then screaming for some man to help them because they can't do it themselves. Now, on the other hand, while women are depreciating assets, men, we are powerful. We become more and more intelligent with every passing day. We learn and we apply what we have learned. We know there's a path that's well-worn, well-trodden, well-established, and leads to satisfaction. And once we avoid all the distractions of women, we can go that way. We can go our own way, which is the way we should have been taught about when we first started life. That if you want to pick up a woman, pick her up. Put her next to you or behind you and say, follow me, bitch. We're going that way. And if you leave, you fucking leave now. And if you don't like it, leave now. And just go without them. We don't need them. Men make more money as we get older. We are worth more and more. We are more valuable to ourselves or valuable to employers. Men save money. Men build wealth. And that leads to ultimate, right, comfort. We've done a good job. We toast ourselves as men. We're satisfied. We're satisfied with ourselves. And we see that path. And we follow it. And it doesn't lead to destruction. Women love to scream off to the side from the path, this deep in quicksand, and go, "You need a woman to be happy." Right? And you're like, really? I need to go jump in the quicksand with you? I mean, think about it, guys. In order to be happy, we need to be in the quicksand with them. In order to be fulfilled, you need a woman in your life. And you're like, really? I need to jump in that swamp over there with you and muck around in alligator shit and turtle piss? That's happiness? That's satisfaction? I need that? No, I'm going to follow the path. Right? Take care of myself. Look after myself. Do what I know to be right. Follow the well-worn, well-traveled path. It's been there all along. But there have always been women waving signs in front of me. Go this way. Don't do that. That's wrong. Don't do what has been done for thousands of years, because that's wrong. It's wrong. This is the path of patriarchy. We need to get off of it. Right? We need to each make our own choice. Right? But that choice is the girl's choice. So she'll lead you right off the path her way and go, and you're supposed to follow her. No, no more, guys. You know, maybe I'm beating this horse to death. Maybe I've thrown this horse in the quicksand. But this is what I see. I see women jumping neck deep into quicksand and screaming for help. And they're not going to get it anymore. The older these women get, and the more men learn, they learn what has happened and how bad feminism is, they're all going to be left by the wayside. They are used. They are corrupted. They are worthless. And they are nothing but bait to a man's own destruction. What do you guys think? What do you think? Click this video thumbs up. I'm sure if you made it this far, you've done that. Click all MGTOW videos, thumbs up on all channels. Because I want YouTube to see how powerful this subject is and how it's growing. How men need it, and they'll recommend it to men. I think it's a great topic to study. It's philosophical. It's social. It's timely. It matters. It's relevant. It's about economics. MGTOW covers everything that is men's issues. Right? Go your own way. And that means go the way you know to be right. Do not follow. Right? Ill-chosen paths. Gynocentrism. Feminism. And even a path called equal rights. Because that leads to a myriad of tangential paths that all lead to quicksand. Right? The one true path that a man needs to stay on is the one he chooses and knows for himself to be the way to go. That well-worn, well-established path. You guys, thank you very much for subscribing. If you haven't done it, please subscribe. And at the end of this video and all my videos, I'm going to be recommending other MGTOW channels to check out for their content. Let them know that MGTOW is Freedom sent you there. Right? That way we're all working together. I keep finding new channels. And I go, how did I not find this guy before? Right? Small channels need to be lifted up and get more subscribers. Right? Because their message will become better as they develop their YouTube technique and presentation skills. As they develop their philosophies. I would very much like to see a lot more young MGTOW men out there doing videos so that others will follow them. There was one young gentleman contacted me, said, hey, come and check out my stuff. And I did. Good content. He's learning and he's starting early. Maybe he won't make the same mistakes I made, which was to say I was having equal rights with a woman while she made all of the decisions and I'm pulling on her, get back on this fucking path over here. And she's like, well, it's my turn to make a decision. We're going this way. Through the jungle, fucking loss after loss after loss. No, get back over here on my path. And we go again. And she drugged me off it again. Right? These young guys, they have a chance at life of not being destroyed by these quicksand hags. Right? And we need to be careful. Older MGTOW, Generation X and older. Even the millennials are going to see it. As these women get older and find themselves in more and more trouble, they're going to look to the government to bail them out and then have us as taxpayers pay their bills. We got to avoid it. We got to sharpen the fuck up now. We got to stand on our morals now, or they're going to get us one way or another. Okay, thank you very much, guys, for watching this video. It's been one I've been wanting to do all week long, and I knew it would be a long presentation, so I thank you for your patience, your consideration, and I look forward to your comments. You guys have a great, great day. Semper Fi, and MGTOW is freedom. I have the penis. See you later.